once we go live, there's no going back, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of being alive.
Oh, all right. Well, see, I'm picking it up. It's only been about 2 years, and I'm understanding how this system works.
Sure.
This is Inking Kirby with the original Drink and Draw Social Club, coming at you, as Jeff would say, live.
I mean, I would say that.
Yeah.
that is how I would describe it.
As in Jeff's words.
You guys don't have any sound effects, you know?
No, I mean, there's
we could play something.
There's some background music we can play thanks to.
You'll need a theme song for the show now.
All right.
Oh, don't get us started on that.
Yeah. Okay, that's not going to fit.
All right, forget it.
That's not cool enough.
There's nothing Kirby about that soundtrack.
Yeah. Hey,
Dexter, we're all Inking Kirby.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I'm drinking for a change.
What do you got there?
I got it's called Little Mo Porter. And one of our buddies from Drink and Draw sent it to me.
Excellent. I didn't think you were a porter fan.
Yeah, I don't like IPA, but I do like porter.
All right, there you go. I'm hydrating with just some water, some like vitamin water.
Jeff, what'd you mix it with? Fess up.
No, there's nothing. Sadly, there's nothing in there.
There's nothing.
Nope, man down.
Yeah, I don't trust them, Dexter. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's introduce everybody. We got Dexter over here.
I'm just have some coffee. Just keep it
away. There he is.
Yeah.
Look at that studio. Very cool, Dexter.
Yeah, dude.
So, we got to have some visual stimulation going, in this thing.
I need more art in the place.
Yeah, no, it's good. You got plenty of art in the place, dude.
I'm saying you collect a lot of good art. Y'all figured you have it's like a museum at your place by now.
This is just like a shrine to Frazetta in here. Here we got masterful Mark Irwin, inker extraordinaire also. So we're really stacking the deck with guys like Dexter and Mark here, who are veteran inkers. And just all around sweethearts. Look at that mug. Look at that guy.
Handsome devil right there.
All right.
I mean, we're not
make up people right before this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got the Reverend Dave Johnson.
The Reverend.
I got
thumbs up.
Two thumbs
up. Very
enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Very good. And of course, Jeff Johnson, artist and now inker.
Well,
we'll wait to levy that opinion later.
Sure. I think the act of inking is undeniable, but extraordinaire is completely up to debate.
You will be doing inking. We'll find out.
We purposely picked the subject that Jeff is fearful of. So
I'm not fearful of it, Dave. I just know where I'm at.
So let's go through. We'll show what we're inking. Jeff, hold on. I wanted to show you something.
You want to show me something? Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to show you something.
I bet.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's the man right there.
That's Jack Kirby. I mean, that's what we're talking about. And so what I thought I'd do is represent a little bit. There he is, dapper dresser.
Now,
I bet that guy could throw a mean left hook.
Who would want to fight? Kirby, or our patron saint?
Oh God, I'm sorry. I love Kirby, but he's no match for our patron saint at all. So
I think if it was a staring contest, I'll give it to Dorn. But if it's a straight out brawl, I'm going to give it to Kirby.
Yeah.
Well, he did go to World War II, and he's supposedly got some kills under his belt. So you might be right on that.
We're talking about a little bit about less killing right now, but a little bit more Kirby. This is, we always see him inked, and he was in the business for so long. He was inked by so many different people, but the pencils were always interpreted differently by everyone. So it's pretty fun to check it out. So here is John Romita Sr. Basically, you can kind of tell some of the changes he's made. Like you look at Spider-Man's hand, his mask. That was pretty common back then in the bullpen. And if he did something like that today, I think you'd hear a lot of screaming and yelling from the penciler, but Jack was just pouring. I mean, the guy could do about 6 pages a day, is what they said. Even look at the Hulk's arm that's coming out. You know, they're adding stuff. So it was basically a framework in many instances, because how many books do you think he was drawing per month?
I think on a regular basis, 3 for sure, sometimes 4.
Yeah,
Crazy.
So it was like, here's the idea, here's the pencils, and inkers at that time period, they were more like embellishers. So they would take it and they would really finesse up an artist.
Well, what do you think about maybe the conversation of defining some terms? Like, what's the difference between what you would say is an embellisher, an inker, and a finisher?
Well, let's go first to Dexter, and we'll all give our little answers.
Well, an embellisher is basically what I'm doing. I would say your kind of standard inking is an embellishment. You bring out the pencils, you separate the foreground from the background. You know, you enhance. To me, you would bring out what, I don't know.
So when you're on this, Dexter, are you consciously like making some changes and ideas?
I am in some, and then finishers is exactly what it is. You are taking a very loose pencils, or maybe even sometimes sketches, and you finish that job. Actually, me and Dave did a finishing job once, way back when, on a Wildcats job, and well, Dave did the layouts and I did the finishes.
That's because I was lazy and I just wanted you to do all my work.
Wait a minute, years later it comes out.
Dexter, you've done, I mean, obviously you guys are professional inkers, embellishers, finishers, all that stuff. Like, do you have a preference? Do you like a tighter pencil or a looser pencil? Do you like to have it, you know, be concentrated more on the quality of the line, or you like to do more of actual finished drawing?
If I had to choose, I would prefer someone a little loose, so I can go in and play and kind of have fun with it, you know, kind of bring my stylistic chops to the project without taking anything away from what the penciler is doing. So I love to see what's beyond what's on the actual page.
Who would you say has been your favorite guy who gave you kind of an opportunity to do that a little bit?
Let me think.
Well, while you're doing that, Dexter, do you mind like maybe hipping people who don't know who you are in your career? Like, you've inked a ton of people. You want to just throw some names out?
I've inked, of course, the man Dave Johnson there.
Yep.
Super Patriot. Way back in the day, probably some covers here and there. Worked with Ed McGuinness a bunch on Superman, Batman.
Yeah.
The Red Hulk.
He did some nice work on that stuff.
And I worked with Steve McNiven on Civil War, Old Man Logan.
God. Talk about some intensive inking.
So yeah, I inked Steve's very first work at CrossGen, actually.
Yeah.
His very first job. So he's come a long way.
I think that's the first time I saw your actual inks on someone.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because then you're like, I think it's the first time I saw your inks and the pencils that they came from. Which is I think is super cool, because it's amazing just how much even a tight pencil can be interpreted.
Yeah. So, and Steve was he was an intern back then. He wasn't even like a full on penciler. So to see where he's come is crazy. But yeah, just to name a few, I've worked George Genti, I've worked with a lot.
Oh yeah.
George is like, because George is, he's one of those guys. He's very tight, but definitely leaves you a lot of room to kind of play. So, but that's just to name a few.
Mark, what do you think when it comes to like inking? What do you prefer, the embellishing part or just the straight inking?
Well, I think over my career, I had the fortune or misfortune, I guess, of inking a lot of guys that were super, super detailed. So you tend to get a little pigeonholed with that stuff. And I think a lot of what kind of what I was known for were those super tight guys. I think in terms of what I like, I would prefer to probably ink people that were a little bit more loose so that I could, just like Dex, like play around, but play around without having to stress about actually drawing everything,
Mm. So, Mark, one of the things I've always liked about your stuff, and you've inked me occasionally, and I've seen your work, and as someone who is not a proficient inker, I have learned how to finish a drawing and make sure that I have some thick and thin, and I understand a little bit of light source. But one of the things that you guys do that I have no skill at whatsoever is textures.
It just makes guys like Mark laugh.
Usually, yeah. I mean,
that's the fun stuff is the textures. So,
yeah, I mean, and I think so much of that, there's the obvious textures like, glass and metal and leather and things like that. But I think a lot of the fun that comes from inking is having that ability to play a little bit with simple line work and make texture out of it. Where it looks like the penciler left a little bit of room for you to goof around, and then you can get in there and actually craft some line work or whatever that ends up looking like a texture, but maybe doesn't really mean anything. That kind of stuff is super fun to me, but yeah, I don't know, Jeff. Maybe you're asking the wrong person, but I think.
Really?
No, I think he's.
I like you kind of go zen with it. I'd like to get Bob Ross with it, especially with the textures. It's a happy little rock, or or a tree or a bush. So,
do you guys have some texture tricks for, like, say, wood? Like, if you're inking wood, do you I know what I'm going to do here. This is what I do for wood and machinery and metal and whatnot.
I know what I do for wood.
Okay, Dave.
Is it morning time? Is it
TMI?
Yeah.
I love like old brushes for that kind of thing, like the side of a brush. Because I love stuff like that. Because you can just kind of make a mess. I actually look at a lot of Watterson.
He's great
for stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. This was a million years ago, but you did a pinup for me for the Wildcats X-Men trade paperback that we did at Wildstorm like a million years ago.
Yeah.
And you did these trees that were so Watterson-esque. I mean, they were so freaking beautiful. And, I didn't care about that Wolverine was in the picture or that there was a blood trail or anything like that. It was those trees. I mean, you crushed it with your texture and everything on that piece.
Oh, was that like it was like mostly silhouette, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I just didn't want to draw that day.
I almost chose that exact same piece, Mark. I was real close to picking that same piece.
Let's draw some trees.
Dave is very hard to give a compliment to.
Yeah. I take everything back.
Yeah.
Hey, you probably should.
Case in point.
So before we started the show, Dexter asked what we were all inking with. I think might be a good thing to let everybody know what your inking of choice is.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing Kuritakis and Pentel brush pens.
Nice.
The big brushy stuff, but the Kuretake is so versatile. You can do brush-like lines that feel like a brush, but really it's just a pen. That's why I love it. I love it so much. It's got so much versatility.
It's got some bounce to it.
Yeah. If you treat it right, it'll take you home.
Whoa. Okay. Moving on.
Well, I mean, I don't know if everyone knew or not, but inking apparently is very sexual.
Well, for Dave, it is. It always
Yeah.
has been.
Well, everybody's got their kink.
Yeah.
And Dave's happens to be his Kuretake PQ 51011
Dave
1900.
loves a line with some life in it.
Hey, artwork, supplies will do that for you.
Yeah.
I went to Japan. I'm pretty sure I spent 12 hours in art supply stores over the week I was there.
Yeah. So what stuff could you get there that you can't get here?
Japan, it's all kind of cool stuff you can get there that you can't get here. So
Yeah, I mean that sounds naughty.
well, that too. But
Yeah.
I was good on that trip.
Yeah, didn't you, Dex? Didn't you you used to go like on a monthly trip or something like that for your brushes? Right?
I wish. I wish.
Dedication to the tool, man.
Yeah, some
Right.
dedication. Here.
See, I am using today a Sharf Series 3000, size number 3, and various micron pens and brush pens and all kind of goodies.
Nice.
Wow.
Now, Mark, you guys, when you ink, do you usually start with anything in particular? I usually start with anything I can do like tech or anything I can freehand real easy. Is usually what I'll start with.
What about that makes it a good starting point? Is it because it's not tricky, or you can warm up with it?
Yeah, I can kind of warm up with it, and the tech stuff is the kind of anything I had to use a template or a pictograph or something, not a pictograph or a pen.
Right.
I hate that part of it, or it's just I just want to get through that part of it. So I want to get to the brush, and that's when I kind of start having fun per se. To the end, it's kind of work.
Gotcha. So on a little side note, like, because I always think of by the time I'm at the inking stage, for me it's kind of super zen, and the lines are better if I've got if I'm relaxed, I'm breathing. Like, do you have music that you listen to, or do you have something you like to have on in the background while you kind of zone out and ink?
Yeah, generally when I'll start with music, and I'll usually have something on the TV, somebody streaming. I'll usually watch streamers, but I'll start the day just to go in with music. And then eventually I'll probably roll into, something streaming, and then just watch from there.
I can answer for Mark. It's brush all day,
all
night.
day, every day.
Never changes.
No idea what you're talking about whatsoever.
I mean, do you throw in a little Led Zeppelin just to mix it up?
God, I'm not predictable. No,
Me and Dave used to rock to some ska back in the day.
No, when I was inking, most of the time I would either have sports on because I didn't have to look at it. I could just listen to it. And,
Gotcha.
Or podcasts. Just my biggest problem with music is that I like it too much, so I get too into it, and then I'm not paying as much attention to the line.
Oh, interesting. That's the opposite.
Yeah, I'm the opposite with that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I always said I was weird, so
No. Now it's confirmed.
yeah.
Now everybody knows.
Is that because you're drumming, Mark?
Yeah, it's all the air drumming. That's it.
It's very hard to ink and air guitar at the same time, Dave. You should know that.
Yeah, you son of a gosh.
Well, for lesser anchors, maybe.
Sure.
That's true.
Yeah, for someone like for Joe Sinnott, I mean, it's no problem.
I mean, I know this
There's
is going
always
way
a-
back, Mark, but you inked a Wolverine Magneto card that I did, and one of the things I loved about it was
Oh yeah.
you did some. I mean, honestly, the hair was amazing. I mean, there's little stuff like that I don't know if, as primarily a penciler who has learned how to ink out of necessity, I think the idea, once again, that's just a texture. Like, I always find the attention to detail, the things that I blow past, to be super impressive.
Well, Jeff, one of the awesome things about inking you, inking Dave, the one time I inked Dave, you guys are such good draftsmen. Like, it's all there. So, and you leave so much room that I could have fun with it. And inking hair, all that kind of stuff. That's the joy. Like, that's the fun stuff. And if you have a penciler who gives it all to you, but still leaves you room to do the way you want to do it, it doesn't get better than that.
I like how you neglected to say Dan's name.
Yeah, well, inking Dan, that was just a chore.
There's no fun in that.
You guys are all professionals. Who do you think is the best technical? I mean, apart from preference and philosophical affiliation, who do you think is the best technical inker in comic, or has the history of comics?
No.
I won't touch the history, but I would say, for me, I would say John Dale.
Oh yeah, okay. So a contemporary, John Dell. Yeah, John's amazing.
Yeah,
John's a machine, and he lays. At least he used to back in the year I was at CrossGen. He could lay on his stomach and ink a page.
Yeah,
I was just like, yeah, okay. Don't see how you do that, but you do you, sir.
Amazing shoulder control right there.
All right.
I gotta say, one of the reasons I wanted to ink myself more was because of John Dell. Like, John was actually a little too clean. I wanted my stuff to be tight, but yet have a looseness to it at the same time. That's kind of the style I've developed. And when he was inking me on a Chain Gang War, I remember seeing him use a brush, and he would get the brush so hard he would let it like he wouldn't even start using it until it was almost ruined. Like as far as flexibility, he would leave the ink in, and it would just become this chisel point. And I'm like, well, he kind of, he would, just to do one thin to thick line, he would have to do 2 lines.
Interesting.
And it drove me nuts. I was like, it's got to be, a little bit more organic. He was actually too clean.
So at that point is when Dave called his editor and had John fired. I think it was not how it went. Nice way to go, Dave.
Well, sometimes if
rumor confirmed,
if another man's children have to starve so that we get what we want.
Yeah, but I got Andrew Robinson after him. So.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Some might say you were a hoist on your own petard.
Well, that was a great news.
Yeah, in a very good way.
Yeah.
No, I love John. He just, I'm more of a, I just want to ink myself more than anything.
You're just selfish, Dave. You're just selfish.
Yeah, you're a very selfish man.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is I hate penciling. I mean, I love seeing things come together in the ink stage, and you can't really get the kind of effects that you can with ink and pencil. So it was kind of I kind of wish I'd grown up like say the way Dan did, coming into the industry like as a remiterator, and just kind of letting it go, just get the job done. I was in a studio with a bunch of, super tight, artists. And it just, I kind of got in the habit of wanting everything to be my way.
I thought that Gaijin way back in the day.
Gaijin way, yeah, exactly.
I thought Dan's actual origin story, though, was that he was found on the floor of a boxing gym by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah. Well, I finished mine up, Dave. That's the Ramita Raiders training paid off.
Well, there you go.
So
Yeah, that looks cool.
thanks, you guys. But here's the pencils. I picked an easy one. These guys are doing super hard stuff. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to draw. I penciled it out already. I'm gonna ink literally Jack Kirby.
Honestly, I thought you were about to say I'm gonna show you how Jack Kirby should have drawn.
Exactly.
That is
All right. So
you're gonna ink. Oh, so you've drawn Jack. I got you.
I've drawn Jack. I just finished inking a Dark Seed or Dark Side or whatever. All right. Let's see. We haven't focused on Jeff yet. Jeff is working on Machine Man. Looks pretty damn cool.
Super simple.
Very simple. Simple's good though.
Yeah, I'm already regretting my decision.
Yeah.
I don't know how those guys did it so quick.
Right. You said he was penciling 3 to 4 books a month.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, I think that there's a certain thing that I like about when you're in the flow of inking. There's a certain confidence to a line that just like you guys keep talking about the way it feels, and I like that about it. I always felt like whenever you're penciling something, the feeling of it seems to not ever be satisfying in the moment, as opposed to like, oh, that worked out the way I had planned.
Hmm.
Well, I just remember looking at old pencils from, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or I guess more of the 70s and 80s, and just how loose they were. And I was just horrified, like once again, I was trying to, make it anchor proof, I guess, as far as somebody coming in and making choices that I didn't agree with. Unfortunately, it didn't always work out. I got guys like Dan inking me on my first DC stuff.
Right.
Well, I wasn't really inking you. I have to say that was Bill Ray. I was doing backgrounds though.
I just remember Bill erasing stuff.
Well, he followed. He was a big Jack Kirby aficionado. I mean,
When
not
in
Jack
doubt,
Kirby.
black that shit out.
Wally Wood. Sorry. When in doubt, black it out. So
smoke it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I was the shit on that book, man.
have you looked back on it?
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's fair to look back on any of our work when we were in our 20s, Dave. It's all garbage.
Yeah, true.
I mean, some of it's interesting. Some of it has, heart and emotion and all that stuff. But like, I can't say the same for you. But my stuff is all kind of like, if I did something right, that was an accident.
I don't know, Jeff. I actually sought Jeff out. That's how Jeff and I became friends. I was so in love with the Wonder Man stuff I'd seen, and I was lucky enough that I'd seen some. He had one quick job that Chris Ivy had inked. I forget what it was.
It was called It was Stalkers. It was. I have penciled the last issue of so many books. It's not even. I mean, I'm like the albatross. I'm the kiss of death when it comes to if you want a book to be canceled, have me pencil it.
That was kind of me with the inking. I got so many like final issues.
Yeah.
I felt that way about covers. I kept getting cover gigs.
Yeah, we're all a little bit cursed when it comes to that.
Oh, I would kill for a series now. Jeez. All I get are just one-off variant covers. It's hard to get in the flow of a cover gig if you're only doing one. But
they just don't want you for that anymore, Dave. You're just not the.
Hey man, I'm aging out.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't have a name with a fruit in it. So.
Oh. Whoops. I don't know what you mean by that.
No, I actually don't.
I didn't catch the reference, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it vague so I don't get canceled.
There you go.
But I have a real like love affair for inking. I mean, to me, that's what kind of got me going, and it still does. Like I just can't see anybody else inking me because I have such a distinct idea about the inking. It's very, very important to me.
Well, where would you put a guy like Kevin Nolan or Al Williamson? Would you describe them as like inkers or finishers or embellishers or co-artists almost? Like, where would you guys put that?
Geez, that's tough.
Yeah, they're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
They're definitely, I would say, embellishers. I mean, you'd have to say that because someone like specifically, Kevin, he's transforming it into something of his own.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, me and Dave inked Kevin Nolan on a project.
You guys inked Kevin Nolan?
Details magazine.
Oh,
Yeah.
right on.
And Dave calls me up. This is what, 96, 97? Dave calls me up. I'm like, I've probably been in the business a year and some change, maybe. And I'm just getting to know Dave. He was like, hey, I'm inking Kevin Nolan on this job. Can't really pay you, but I'll give you a couple of pages if you could come up here and help me out. I was like, yeah. Hopped in my car.
Hell yeah.
Drove, you were like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I was up at the barn and we stayed up all night inking this job, finishing it up. I think I inked all the backgrounds. Dave did the figures.
Typical.
We stayed up all night and I took it to FedEx the next day. On my way back home, I was so tired. I slept. I told the people in the FedEx parking lot, can I take a nap for 10 minutes so I don't pass out before I get home?
Wow.
Oh,
remember the FedEx days?
Comics.
I can't remember the last time I've been to FedEx for trying to rush out a job.
Oh yeah.
And FedEx was everything. I mean,
it was.
Yeah, we had it timed out how quick we could get to FedEx when we were at Gaijin. We would literally wait till the last second, inking or doing whatever to get it out the door.
And then if you miss FedEx, at least here in Atlanta, we had Delta Dash.
Yeah,
I did that too.
Quick
Delta Dash was the lifesaver.
Yeah.
You had to pay out your pocket, but you saved your job.
Oh man, yeah.
So many of those for me.
Oh, fucking Delta Dash.
Yeah.
Inking in the car, racing.
I never had to do that.
Oh God.
But I've seen many of almost fights at the FedEx at 10 o'clock, people trying to get in that door.
Oh yeah.
Because they eventually, at least the one here out by the airport, they started having security.
Really?
It was so bad.
A lot of inkers.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of comic book artists.
We're an angry lot.
Yeah. We really are a little bit violent when it comes to our deadlines.
Yeah.
I remember I used to say to myself, I had a Corvette at the time, and I was like, I am going to get to the FedEx, Dukes of Hazzard style. If they have to pull me, they're not going to pull me over. I go, they're going to have to follow me to FedEx. They might have to kill me because I'm dropping this book off. That's how dedicated I was. I was like,
that's how much comics mean to anyone who wants to get a job in comics. Can you make that statement in honesty?
Right.
Yeah. Are you willing to die?
And if you can't, then you should become, I don't know, a chef.
Anything
perhaps?
else.
Anything else.
Animator.
Yeah.
That was your problem.
Like
You just weren't willing to die.
I definitely, my problem was I had other things to do.
You had other things you wanted to die about.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am doing here, but I'll show you.
Where would you guys put Barry Windsor Smith in this whole conversation? As an
So,
I tried to step in it.
talk about Bernie Wrightson. I mean, these are people that they develop their own thing, you know. They just are their own beast, and I mean, same with Kevin Nolan or Al Williamson. Like those guys obviously can draw, They
Yeah.
can obviously finish over other people. They can make the job their own, or they can lay back. I have a Buscema page that Al Williamson inked on Wolverine, and it just looks like a loose pen nibbed Buscema, more so than it looks like Al.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think those guys, they're just consummate professionals that can do the whole job, which, so much of what we do is specialized. It's crazy when you see those people are so talented, they can do it all.
Yeah.
When Kevin Nolan was inking me on Wildcats, there were quite a few times where I was having trouble drawing a face. And then I realized, well, Kevin's just going to redraw it anyway.
Right.
So
Let him worry about it.
Yeah. So one time I drew Bart Simpson's head. I can't remember some of the other ones I did, but
I think I vaguely remember that too, actually.
So
Yeah,
how did he handle that?
I'm sure he loved it.
like I knew he would.
Yeah.
I remember he inked Mignola on that Alien.
Yeah.
Yo, the Alien Salvation.
Yeah, and
But he inked it so
Mignola
faithfully.
wanted him to change it, and he didn't. So he was actually disappointed that.
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't Nolanize it.
Jeff, you have the same problem.
Yeah. Nolan inked me on a Green Lantern cover once, and I was super excited. And all he did was he liked the drawing so much he didn't Nolanize it. He just did a little something to the nose. And I'm like, oh, that's an awesome compliment, but damn it.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, but that is a compliment. So it's kind of interesting.
Is it a compliment, or was Kevin just lazy that day?
No, Kevin, I mean, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Mark.
He just daved it that day.
Yeah, I could have really used the help, to be perfectly honest. It needed some Kevin.
Hold on. All right, let me look to the group and see who we should spotlight here. Who we want to see? Someone's asking. Oh, it's Ted. He wants seen Barry Windsor-Smith's newest book. He hasn't lost a step. If anything, he's getting better with age.
Oh yeah, Monsters Intense.
I haven't seen that, but let me get back to everybody here.
He does a lot of really funky things. I'm going to say it. I don't know. People are going to be mad at me, but like there's an Ernie Chan feel to some of it with some of the textures.
Oh, wow.
That Ernie was doing later on in his Conan career over John.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm mad at you.
Well, I'm pissed at you, Jeff. But that's all. That's pretty much every episode.
Sure.
Yeah.
Deserved. I warned
in
you guys
this case,
ahead of time.
it's finally deserved. Normally,
Yeah.
it's not.
Who would you say was Buscema's best inker?
Buscema,
Him.
Yeah.
without a doubt, him. But you know what? My favorite for Savage Sword of Conan is Dzugna.
Yeah, he was great.
That to me, that was like just didn't get better than that.
I mean, I know that Dan and I disagree about this almost violently, but I really love Terry Austin on John Buscema.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Terry Austin fan. I think he just took everything about Buscema and stiffened him up, and that's what I liked about him in the first place. But
Now Terry would terrorize it. He would put his stamp on. You definitely knew when Terry inked something.
Yeah, and that's
he's
one of the things
my
I loved
favorite
about
guys,
it. Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't love him on art. He did some stuff with Art Adams that I liked, but I didn't love him with art.
Well, that's kind of like him on what was I going to say? Brian Boland. Like he was one of those guys. Like, look, if Brian Boland can't ink himself on the rest of Camelot 3000, who else in the business was qualified to do that at the time? And the only one was Terry, and those last issues were great, in my opinion.
well, I mean, to a broader question that might, I don't know, I don't want to get
This might offend people, Jeff. I don't like the way you're phrasing it already.
I know it's already going to be an issue. Is like
Jesus.
I actually miss the world of a penciler and an inker. I definitely think that the two skills, while they can be done by the same guy, I think that they are a different form of drawing. And I kind of miss the world where, you had a John Buscema, and then you had like, who's going to ink him? What take are we going to get? I really like that.
Oh yeah, I love the teams. I mean, Joe Mad and Tim. I mean,
Yeah.
They were a great
love
team.
that.
Oh yeah.
I liked it so much better than I liked Tim on him much better than Mark Irwin. But
We all saw that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, goes without saying.
I mean, a lot of people did. I wasn't alone in
I
that.
really don't say it again.
Yeah. Stop saying it.
Yeah. Just stop saying it.
You know who else? It goes without saying is Klaus. Klaus.
Oh yeah, Klaus is amazing.
Klaus was just phenomenal as an inker, as a finisher.
Yeah, Klaus and Frank made magic. I love Al and Lee.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what Dexter's. Let's go back to Dexter. I almost removed him from the stream out of anger.
Because what he's doing is so good.
Yeah, I'm like, this is about me. Guys, I'm drawing Jack Kirby. This should be about me, not Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter, you posted, I think it was a piece of a Wonder Woman drawing where it was you focused mostly on the textures you had done on the rock.
Oh yeah. I'm doing a piece for the Joe Senate, the charity piece.
Oh, gorgeous line work, man. Gorgeous stuff in that rock.
Thank you.
Wait, what's the Joe Senate charity thing?
The Inkwell Awards. Every year they do a piece. They have someone pencil a piece, and then they have a bunch of inkers do their take of the piece, and they raffle them off for charity.
I designed the Inkwell Award, and I've been an inker my whole life. I've never gotten an Inkwell Award.
You sound a little bitter.
Not at all.
Here's a quick peek.
Plea for relevance. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Look at that madness.
Oh man.
So yeah, I just spent the day with an old brush. I was like, we'll have a little fun.
Sure.
So, but Mike Diodato drew the piece. And
Oh yeah,
everybody's
that's true. I saw that.
doing their thing. So
How tight are his pencils?
these are pretty tight, but it was definitely a lot. He left a lot of room for to play. So
Excellent.
I'll be looking forward to seeing what everybody does.
Those were digital pencils, I think, right?
No, he penciled. They look like pencils to me anyway.
Oh.
Is it true? Keep hearing like he has like a studio with like 30 people or something. Like
I don't know.
Mike has like this big studio of guys working with him or kind of deal.
That would make me feel better about it.
Out some beautiful work.
Yeah.
He's like can draw anything. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of awesome guys, what happened? Did anybody keeps in contact with Rodolfo DiMaggio?
Well, no.
I mean, he does so much TV and film storyboard stuff. I don't know if he does comics much anymore.
No, yeah, he got out of comics a while back. I was just curious, was anybody even in contact with him? We used to hang every year back in the day.
Yeah.
Once he kind of moved to the Hollywood stuff, we kind of lost contact with him.
Me and him were pretty tight for quite a while, and then he just got into the movie stuff and just kind of fell off the map.
Like all people that Dave has in his life after a while.
Well, I tend to get fairly sick of people after looking out. So
I do think that when you're doing that kind of stuff, I know from a little personal experience that the sudden deadlines are intense.
But then, I'd hear stories like when he was working on Jurassic Park, the first one, and what a poor life having to, be flown to Hawaii and sit on a beach while you.
That is hard. It's hard to cope with that for sure.
Yeah, it's a rough life. No, that guy just. I mean, you saw his concept work, right?
Yeah. I remember there was a little website, that had all his stuff, or at least a lot of it on it. I don't know if it's still there anymore. I grabbed a lot of that stuff.
He did a bunch of stuff for Book of Eli, right?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
My computer, I had that. I was looking at it every single day. Wow, that's coming out nice, Dave. Sharp.
They need to reprint his Green Arrow stuff.
Oh yeah, that stuff is fantastic. where do you guys come down on? I know I was going to use the term analog, but like, where do you guys come down on digital inking as opposed to chemical inking?
Well, I'm not a fan, but I understand why people do it. I like regular standard inking myself.
Yeah, I play around with it. I love to sketch with my iPad just when I'm sitting around. And I've definitely dabbled in digital inking, but I'm old school at this point.
So do you think the pros of old school inking outweigh the cons of?
No, I personally don't. I don't know about you guys, but I see why it works. It's much faster. I'll do all my art corrections that way, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a really good tool, but at the same time, you can't turn around and sell the original.
Right. You can't. You're taking money away from you.
Right.
As an artist, like
Well,
you can't.
Unless you're Mitch.
Oh yeah, Mitch Gerards. We got to get him on here. He's a fun guy, and loves whiskey.
There you go.
So he's
Y'all can
perfect
talk
for
the
it.
difference between what's the difference between an NFT and a JPEG?
Yeah.
Is that what
I'm
his thing?
like, it's a JPEG. It's a shitty JPEG at that.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, but okay. But apparently, people are paying thousands of dollars for these JPEGs. So, what do I know?
Hundreds of dollars for a Xerox from Mitch. So.
And you know who else is doing that? And I'm curious to see how it's going to go over is oh God, what was his name? He was a guest on our show. Paquette.
Oh, Yannick?
You're
Yannick
killing
was
it,
doing
Dan.
Yeah. The line is going. But yeah, he's doing that now, and
I don't get it. I don't see how that can. In 20 years, people are going to be trading those on heritage auction.
Right.
I mean,
that's
I get it. It's like, hey, they got to cash in somehow, but damn, that's. I just don't. I don't see. I'm not a big fan of prints personally. If it's a silkscreen print, that's something different. It feels like somebody, artistically did it, But just a Xerox, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, not my thing. But once again, good on them for figuring out a way to cash in on the original art when you're doing everything digital.
yeah, 100%. I mean,
So does he sell like just a one-off, or does he sell is it multiple?
No, it's just one off.
Oh, okay.
It says this is the one, and he's selling them for like $500-600 a page.
Oh, okay.
So it's still just it's a singular image without any reproduction, he's not making copies of it. It just happens to be originally digital.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'm gonna print this one time. It's like an edition size of one, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I get that.
I don't know. I just remember my parents buying those Bev Doolittle prints back in the day, and
the Western artist.
Yeah, I don't think they're worth anything now. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Might be.
I'd just rather own an original wherever possible.
Dave is a save a horse, ride a cowboy kind of guy.
Yep.
All right, I finished this up.
Damn, Dan.
Flying.
Dan is killing it.
I care about Kirby, unlike you guys.
You could have been You could have been an old.
You got to throw some crackle in there, Dan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, Dexter has a point, Dan.
God, Dexter, you're 100%.
Called
Jesus.
you on that.
He did call me on that. And he actually made a damn fool out of me.
No, it's okay. You weren't done yet. I just wanted to make sure. Got to look out for my people.
So Mark is
back to
concentrating
Mark.
so much that he is just a silent machine, like a ninja inking.
Yeah, and look how slick that is.
Yeah.
Man's a problem.
No. Just it's my I haven't inked in a long time, and now I'm inking with markers, so it's even weirder for me. So, all you guys are working professional artists. I'm a retired, semi quasi once professional guy. So
He's smarter than all of us, basically, is what
I
he's
was gonna say we're all jealous of that.
No. I miss it. I miss making marks. But all things must pass. All things change.
It still look like you got mad skills there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I was definitely nervous before this started. Been a long time.
Well, I mean, take a look at the Grotesnica. Like luckily, this is not a hard one to ink because I'm not doing anything special over here.
I don't want to say anything, but
Yeah, I know. We all know what you're thinking.
I almost feel like mine's a little too ham-fisted. Like I'm looking at, I don't know.
let me take a look.
I think I used maybe too thick of lines in some places. Might have to use some whiteout.
Well, we know that's not allowed.
Whiteout. No.
Yeah.
In honor of Dexter, I don't think you're not even allowed to say the words.
Yeah, I feel like someone owes someone $1.
All right, because I'm still traumatized from that.
Yeah, but Dexter's still recovering from that, man. It's been years.
And I did my job.
Why would you say that to a guy just starting out?
Because you got to make sure that they're in it for the right reason.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's like Galactus coming to a planet and seeing if they're strong enough to fight him off.
Exactly.
I mean, Dexter, when you told me that story, I was like, Jesus, what a typical Dave, though. Right off the bat,
See, he's consistent.
Yeah.
Dave just has standards. That's all.
Yeah, he's like, okay, pretty good. Now, I'm trying not doing this.
But it was cool. I was Daniel's son. I accepted Mr. Miyagi's challenge.
You're a good man, Dexter.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it turned out okay.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Let's go back to Jeff. See what the now is that what tool are you using there, Jeff?
This is a Pentel Flex Tip.
Okay.
I started on those, and then they kept spitting on me, and I stopped using them years ago.
I don't know. I think you might have been using them wrong. Like, what were you doing with them?
Yeah, Dave, a lot of weird stuff going on there. It costed,
It was a personal thing.
Yeah. I mean, spitting, it's just gross.
No, they would catch. Maybe it was the paper I was using.
No, I mean, they do have a tendency to split if you push down too hard.
Yeah. See, I tend to abuse my markers. So.
Yeah. You got to be gentle with these, especially since I don't think they make them anymore.
Yeah, I bought a ton of them. Here, you know what? I don't actually. I think I threw them all away. Let me see if I got any more. I'll send you some.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I like them because they're pins and they get a little thick and thin, and so they're easy, to use. And I use them in conjunction with some brush, so I can get a little flavor.
Yeah, I threw them all away because I hated them so much at that point. Well, especially when I found the Kuritakis, I was like I found a new lover.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Kuretake sound like the shit.
Oh man, these are so much better. It's like night and day.
And where do you get those, Dave? Do you order them out, or you get them at like a
Yeah,
Japanese bookstore?
Jet pins.
Jetpin.com. Matter of fact,
All right.
the other day we were talking about art supplies discontinuing, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I'm probably going to order another 100 of them.
Cool.
And boy, they ain't cheap either. So
How fast do they wear out, Dave?
they're pretty stout.
When they go out of business, Dave is going to corner the market,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna have
Dave-
to
sell
Dave-
them for like $1
Fucking
million
all
each.
yeah. You want it? I got it.
How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
I'll give you one for free, and then after
Just
that,
the first one.
yeah, you're my bitch after that one.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, everything's sexual with Dave.
Well, I mean, Dave is an alpha artist.
Definitely. He alpha Dexter right into the layout zone.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, you should have seen what I did to Drew Gracie.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
You do the drill.
Everyone's going to be me tooing Dave. And,
Exactly.
Me
Oh.
doing.
wait till you see what Dave did to this poor guy. Yeah.
Say that explains it.
Yeah. No wonder
Yeah. I apparently I messed him up so good. Well, let's not even go there.
Oh boy.
This is a fun show.
Yeah.
Good
Family
times.
show. Dave, I already added some gray tones to my dark side or dark seed or whatever you grew up calling them.
Well, the real question is it Submariner or Submariner?
It's actually, so I don't know how it was supposed to be in the comic, but talking to an actual submarine guys, they answer to both. They think it's fine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool.
That was strangely enough. So I was doing a lot of work with the Navy not too long ago, and I had to deal with some submariners, and I asked them, and they actually had given it a lot of thought.
Well, as you would hope they would.
Yeah.
Come on. All right.
Did you break into a song with the Village People?
The submariner?
Well, in the Navy.
Oh no.
No?
No, Dave. That's one of your fantasies, not Jeff's.
Yeah. I have to say that now, having worked with a lot of Navy people, I now understand the rivalry between Army and Navy a lot more than I used to.
Is that
And
because
who do you side? And now who do you side with?
Well, I've always been Army, Dan.
Oh, that's true. You were in the Army.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
did they secretly razz you for being in the Army, or did you keep that a secret?
Oh no, it was one of the things we first talked about.
Hmm.
Because in the Navy you can sail the 7 seas.
That's what I've heard.
That's almost what made Jeff jump into the Navy right off the bat.
Yeah. Do you like sailing?
He's drawing slowly.
That
Put
looks
these on. I'll put
good.
these on Twitter later.
So you threw in a little gray tone on those? That's nice.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. So I didn't. Let's see. Let's get back to you guys here. I am wrapped up.
Any questions from the peanut gallery?
Let's see. Question right here. Question for Dex. Are you feeling back to 100% in your inking since conquering your illness? Are you taking on regular work again?
I am taking on regular work again. Thank you for asking. But yes, I'm not 100%, but definitely getting back there.
That's good to hear.
You know, one of the things
Here's another guy who we should have had on the show, and now I feel bad we didn't invite him, is Mark Deering, who's a tremendous inker.
he is really great.
What's
Yeah.
up, Mark?
Hey, Mark. Sorry, we should have had you on, buddy. It's always good to see him at the show. He's constantly giving me a hard time, but I love it. it makes the shows more fun. I gotta say,
He's a good cat.
he's a great guy. And
Well, I mean, he's on the
these
show.
guys in this business it's that way. It's like you got a lot of that support and that camaraderie that comes with the job. There's a real understanding for what we all do and what we all go through. That's why those conventions are so much fun for the artists as well as the fans.
Have you guys started back doing conventions yet?
Oh, I'll never go to a convention again in my life. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, that answers that.
I'm getting passionate.
Mic drop.
Damn.
No, I'm going to go back to some. I'm trying to see if Jason from Essential Sequential could send me to MegaCon because I miss Florida, and I got some friends in Dallas, Texas. So the Dallas Fan Expo is coming up. So I don't know. How about you guys? Jeff, you got anything?
I've got a couple. I'm going to the Garden State show, and I'm going to something in Indianapolis later on this year, and then I think I got one in Arizona. What we're doing.
Nice.
Heroes might be my first show back.
Heroes is a fun show.
Oh, I love that show. That's a fun show for sure.
So, but we'll see. I talked to maybe doing something with Hero Initiative if I do it. I was talking to Jim McLaughlin about that, so we'll see if that comes together.
Very cool.
What's up with San Diego? Is it back on this year?
That's a good question.
I don't even care. It's too expensive to go.
Yeah, I hadn't been to the show in at least 7-8 years now, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
just
the show, but it is expensive, and
yeah, I can't afford that stuff.
Didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
It'd be the best show of all time.
Do you guys remember showing up at the show the day of with one of your comic books, being like, "Hey, I'm a pro"? They're like, well, welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I won't go to a show unless they send me out because you're losing work and there's no guarantee that you'll sell much. I'm all out of sketchbooks and art books, so
Well, even better than that, I remember. Oh, you're an artist. Here's an entire table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those days are way gone.
Yeah.
Sit on it, sit in it. If you never even want to sit there, that's cool. Doesn't matter. Yeah, those are the days.
yeah.
Well, then we had to get the temporary seller's permit. That was always fun.
Man, times have changed so much. Like those are all. Well, I'm just gonna call those the FedEx days.
Yeah, the FedEx days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when comics were analog?
I can't remember his name now, but he was a more of an independent artist who had a bit of an attitude when we were at
so rare in this business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he had like a minor hit with one of these his own character, and we just thought we would mess with him, and it was the first year of the where you had to register for taxes, and I remember talking to him about it, and he was like, I was like, so did you fill out your form? You're gonna pay taxes? He's like, well, number one, he hadn't heard that, and then he said, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's gonna be all big guy, whatever. And we had one of our friends who was dressed fairly adult-like to go over to him. We gave her a briefcase, and she pretended to play an IRS agent, asking for his paperwork. And we told her, that when he said he didn't have it, that she was, going to talk about levying a $10,000 fine. And we could see his face from where we were sitting and just watching him become crestfallen when he thought he was about to have to pay $10,000 as a fine.
Oh,
Good
that's
old
rough.
Dave.
Yeah, it was a little joker back then.
Yeah. Some might describe you as a scamp.
Yeah, a little bit of a scamp.
I mean, it's a good thing I didn't know Dan back then, because I think me and Dan, with his practical joking, we might have probably gotten arrested back then.
You might have made a bunch of people cry. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But Dan doesn't do jokes. I've heard Dan's he's not a joker.
I'm not big into
Not
kidding
very
around.
funny and not quite a joker.
Yeah. Let's go back to Mark Irwin. Let's spotlight.
Oh, let's
Mark, this show, honestly, with the viewership we have, this could change your whole life.
That's why I'm doing all the talking.
Yeah.
You might have to go back to inking after this.
Oh, that. I think that ship has sailed, my friend.
That is coming out cool, though, buddy.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I'll be honest, I kind of hate mine now.
What?
Oh, God.
Well, after looking at Mark's?
No, it's just it's I don't know. Some of it's I kind of got Joe Sennett in my head, and it's just not feeling like Joe
Turn
Sennett.
off the light box a second. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, turn the light box off, Dave.
Yeah, why do you have the light box on?
Well, because I'm light boxing.
Oh,
No, it's just so easy. That answer is just so simple.
yeah, because I'm light boxing.
Oh, Dave, that was one of the ones I looked at too, Dave. But I was going to do the background and everything. See,
Well, I mean that was a plan, but now I'm kind of hating the way this is turning out. So might have to end up in the garbage.
you may hate it, but it looks great.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. There's a part of me that like would rather redo it and then redraw. You know, like kind of. In some ways, I feel like I should have made it mine. You know.
Well, that was that was kind of the question earlier. Like, where do you guys fall on? Like, does Kirby need a finisher or an embellisher, or
Yes.
is it?
On most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's take a look here. Oh, by the way, Rossi, who was our guest last week, and she was amazing. She goes, "Dang, that Irwin! I can't even do her accent though. That Irwin guy can ink."
She's right about that.
She's right on. Hold on.
Wasn't so smart to come on the show. Like,
No,
that was a fool's errand on her
That was
part.
my first mistake.
Yeah.
To just quietly ink this in the dark with nobody watching.
I mean, I mean, it depends. It depends on how much work he was putting into the pencils. Honestly, I think in some cases like this is more of a. This isn't. It's almost finished pencils, but it's not quite. You know, here's some more finished stuff. And I really think that Jack Kirby was a team player. You know, he worked well with others, and you know, you got people like Joe Sennett, who was amazing on him. You have Mike Royer, who's phenomenal.
Yeah, Mike was great.
Chick Stone, I liked quite a bit.
Chick Stone was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I like Chick Stone.
guys.
Yeah.
Even, you know, say people have plenty of bad things to say about Vinnie Coletta, but you know, that Thor stuff had a unique sort of rough, sort of different look than the Fantastic Four stuff. So it was all kind of, you know, he definitely.
Did Vinny know he had his reputation that he had back then?
From everything I heard, I don't think Vinny cared, honestly. He was not, you know, like to us, like everything is comic books. I think that guy had a whole other life going on.
Oh yeah.
So
Somebody needs to do. Do you guys watch Vice, like the Dark Side of the Ring,
Yeah.
Dark Side of Football? We need a Dark Side of Comics.
oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
I don't know if I can handle the truth.
Well, didn't they do a series? What is it? Something Fights.
Howard Chaykin was telling us about it.
Yeah, what was the name of that? It was not.
It's like
Slugfest.
Slugfest. Yeah.
Yeah, where artists basically badmouth their contemporaries.
Yeah.
Which, you know, now I want to watch. I mean, that sounds amazing.
Totally.
But yeah, there's so many juicy stories in comics. I'm surprised there's not. But you know, the audience for it would be very limited, I would imagine.
You never know. Why don't you start telling them right now, Dave?
Well,
Yeah.
isn't Chaykin's book kind of not a tell-all, but kind of a history of the?
It is.
Yeah.
Very much so.
involved?
He's got that book, Hey Kids Comics, and it's
That stuff is
a
great.
story about the industry and people behind it. And of course, he's changing the names and the faces.
See, that's what I find. Like I wish he didn't do that. I think that would be way more, way more cool. But I get why he didn't want to get sued. I'm sure.
Sure.
I have to read that after the man had writ Big Black Kisses.
Oh yeah.
You to give that book a read.
Oh, Black Kiss is a great book.
It is definitely different.
Yeah.
I haven't read it in a while. I need to crack it out one day and read it again.
It's the same.
That was some.
It's exactly what you remember.
Well, this time I would do it with weed. I think it'd be even better.
There, it would. It is. Honestly, it's great.
Well, the best thing about it too is it's a great kids book. I mean,
Yeah.
really, yeah,
But you'll definitely learn something you didn't know about before.
that's true.
So we had Howard on the show, I guess last year before, and I did a Black Kiss drawing, and so I reread the series to get kind of into it, and it holds up.
Oh yeah.
Does he say why it has like 3 different titles? With the 3, it's like Big Black Kisses, Big Black Kisses. There's like 3 or 4 different names of the same
I think
series.
it was different series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, I might be missing some.
It's Black Kiss, not Kisses.
Yeah, but like there are a couple different there's different iterations of it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm tired.
All right, guys, how we all doing?
Like I said, I think I might stop my. Like I said, there's a part of me that wants to redo it. I almost feel like I should have penciled it first instead of Lightbox because you miss stuff. And I think there's Kirby. Once again, he's drawn like 1,000,000 miles a minute, and there's things that I would have that maybe Joe Sennett would have corrected that I just inked, and now I look at it and I'm like, oh, I could have evened that out a little bit, and I don't know.
Well, I got one last inking question for you pros. Do you feel like it took you a while to get a handle on a particular penciler? Did you like inking a penciler after a while, or did you like fresh? What was that about?
What was that about?
Yeah, what was that all about?
Well, for me, it's if I like the penciler style, it just flows better. You can just get into what they're doing more so for me. If you're a fan of the penciler's work before you even work with them. If it's somebody you don't like so much, I pick out the fun parts in that art, and make it fun.
You black out what you don't want to ink.
Yeah.
Hey Dexter, let me ask you a question. Has your name ever appeared before the penciler in a comic?
Oh, that's a good question, Dave. Nice question.
No, I haven't gotten books where I didn't get credit for, and I've gotten books where I've gotten credit for that I didn't ink. Sorry, Carl Story. That happened once on Buffy, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they credited me instead of Carl because we men were kind of tag teaming George's. So I think the editors at some point just kind of got lost in the mix.
Right.
Hey, keep your personal life out of this.
Yeah.
Hey, we all adults.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
Long nights at the studio. Things should happen.
I know Georges isn't satisfied with this.
Nothing wrong with a little tag team.
Yeah. Someone's got skills.
Yeah, I'll have to get Georges on here and talk to him about his love of Spice Girls and music in general.
Oh, that does sound great.
Oh man, when you used to come to my studio, man, it was 24/7 Prince.
Oh yeah.
Prince this, Prince that. Wow, all the clothes he used to talk about how he used to wear, and I don't know. It was fun. I loved hanging out with Georges.
The Cut Zutech days, good fun days.
Cut Zutech.
Yeah, I had him. I had Derek Donovan, and so it was like 4 different guys that I don't know if I necessarily helped any of you guys get into the business, but it was like career. So.
No, I said you nurtured me once Joe Phillips really kind of helped me get in, but you definitely helped me once. I kind of got in for sure.
out too. He
Sounds like Dave's a master of tough love.
Yeah, it's too much tough love.
It's that guy Jen, because they were all assholes.
yeah,
So you kind of had to have tough skin to be in that studio anyway.
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, as soon as somebody would leave the room, man, it would just turn into a shark fest. Just how much could we talk crap about that person who just left the room?
I
Bunch
mean,
of
the
teenage
stories Joe would
girls.
tell me once he moved out. So then Dave would tell me stories once he moved out. So it was just crazy.
Yeah,
That was like being in the Marvel office. I'd be in Ralph Macchio's office, and I'd sit there, and somebody would come in, and everybody would be all cheery. And the moment they'd leave, then you get to hear all the dirt. And, you know, it was interesting. But Ralph was such a nice guy. I mean, it was never like horrible stuff, but it was like, oh, wow, this is what's. You know, I got like the Marvel bullpen bulletins experience just hanging around. I also thought to myself, I'm never leave. I'm going to stay here until they kick me out because
Right. You never want to be the last to leave or the first to leave.
Yeah.
well, I told you guys that Ron Garney story, right? With
Which one is that?
I'd never been up to Marvel before, and I met Ron for lunch when I was in New York for, I guess, a convention. And you know, he said, "Hey, have you been up to Marvel yet?" And I was like, "Dude, I've never been there at all." So he's like, "Yeah, we'll go up and check out Marvel." And we walk in and going from office to office, and you know, I had my little portfolio, 8.5 by 11 slipcase portfolio stuff, and I wasn't really looking for work because I had a Chain Gang War, but I knew Mike Golden was a cover editor at the time.
Oh, that's right.
And I really wanted to meet him because he was one of my biggest influences growing up. And so we walk into Mike's office right as Mike is holding court with a bunch of interns, and he's right in the middle of making fun of Ron's latest cover. I mean, talk about bad timing.
Yeah, that's a bad timing there.
He's telling all these guys why it's so bad, and so it started off in the worst possible way to meet your idol, and I just wanted to meet him and show him my work, kind of, you know, hopefully get a big, you know, like a thumbs up, kid. But
you have jersey thrown your way.
Yeah, he just didn't want to know me, and he you know, he kept saying, "Well, I can't give you any work," and I'm like, no, I got plenty of work. I don't think he understood the hero worship side of what was going on, and you know, he was just kind of dismissive, and I finally just go, okay, all right, you know, I kind of hung my head low and walked out of the office, and Ron said, hey, hold on a minute, just wait here. And he went back in and slammed the door, but the walls were so thin I could hear everything he was saying. And he just laid into Golden, man. It was like, you son of a... I mean, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but and then after about 10 minutes of him yelling at Golden, he walked out and he said, "All right, let's go." And I was like, what?
Nice.
I was like, holy crap. And then I didn't see Golden for years, and then I ran into him waiting in line to get his pro badge at MegaCon, actually. And, you know, I figured, well, you know, it's been many years. I'm now an established pro. You know, I guess I can at least say hello. And you know, he was much nicer this time. And then I brought up the fact of how I first met him. And I remember him saying, it made me laugh. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I remember now. I owe Ron Garney a beating."
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Nobody's beating Ron Garney up, that's for sure. But still, you know, and then we became friends after that. So it all turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Golden. He's such a nice guy. All the work that he did for me, that guy was awesome. Super pleasant.
Yeah, what a super talent.
Yeah, I used to hear all these crazy stories about Mike, and then we finally, because he used to be kind of a recluse, he never did shows,
Right.
Yeah.
And now you see Mike at every show. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Yeah.
It was great to see him there and actually pan through the artwork and really take a look at it. You know, like, oh, it's even more magnificent in person.
Yeah, I remember that time he came to Heroes, at his first show in like forever. It was like the Pope was coming to Heroes that year. It was like all the artists were kind of lined up to kiss the boot of golden.
Kiss the ring.
The ring. The man is here.
Yeah. Speaking of legends, did any of you guys actually meet Kirby before he died?
Yes.
I did.
My very first comic convention here in San Diego.
Oh wow, that's
11 years old.
Damn.
I met him. I also did the last. I met him at Eric's wedding, and it was a pretty cool wedding. And then I also did the very last signing he did with him. So we signed an X-Men book together.
Right, Eric who?
Eric from Image.
Stevenson?
Yeah.
Oh, he came to Stevenson's wedding?
Yeah, because at the time Rob was not reprinting. We were all inking Jack Kirby pages for one of the Jack Kirby books he did after he left Marvel and DC, and it was like some kind of patriotic. It was an interesting book. I forget the name. It's like Cyforce or something weird. But so they had a relationship with Kirby, and he was nice enough to come to the wedding. It was a phenomenal wedding that Eric Stevenson had, and but everyone was, including Eric, was, we're all following around Kirby. We just wanted to, say hi to him and talk to him. But he's a very sweet man, very sweet old fella.
Yeah, I met him the year before he died at Comic-Con. I waited in line like everybody else, and it was just a long progression. And you got to, basically shake his hand and say what you had to say, and then you were, shooed on, like you didn't want to hold up the line. So, what do you say to the guy that you hadn't heard like a million times over? So I just I don't even know what I said, but it wasn't anything profound or anything. I just thanked him for who he was and what he did, and moved on. So that was a good year. That was the year I met Steranko too for the first time.
Right on.
And the year I knew I had a job at Warner Brothers. So that was a whole.
You were feeling good.
Oh man, if I could bottle the feeling I had on my way to the airport, because I knew I didn't want to be in North Carolina any longer, and I had a place to move to, and a job.
Well, so. Dave, it's lovely hearing about all that stuff, but we're wrapping up a little bit. It's 22 minutes after 7, and
Well, I was going to tell you about the cab ride.
All right, time flies when you're inking.
The time flies. You guys are inking away. It's been great discussing Kirby. Thanks to everybody who joined us live for this. We had a lot of fun.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Yeah, it was good seeing you. Good seeing you work, man.
Yeah, and if you guys could post the stuff on Twitter when you're done, and tag the original Drink and Draw Social Club, and we'll retweet it and get it out there so all the fans can see the completed things, or even the incomplete ones if you want to do that.
I'm going to make a video of me burning mine.
Ryan Otley strikes.
Yeah,
there you go.
I know it really worked out good for Ryan. And we got some big news coming. Well, I don't know how big it is, but definitely some new ideas coming your way for this.
That's true. We're all gonna have some fun little segments that we're gonna do and change the format up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. Adios, Mark. Thank you, Dexter. Where'd Dexter go?
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Okay. Wait.
Well, we're trying to.
Hey,
Sorry.
over. I'm out of here.
Hold on, I was trying to flip my camera here.
All right.
What, are you playing a game while you're in?
Yeah, he's so skilled. He was doing some.
I am not. I'm watching. There's someone streaming.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now, if I could do that, we'd be doing something then.
Right.
All right, everybody. Cheers and thanks so much. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week, and we'll hopefully bring back Ben and Joe and the whole gang. Cheers, everybody.
And tell Joe I want to work with him sometime on something. I know he's
man,
all
you guys would be a great
digital
team.
and famous, and stuff, but he'd come back to the analog side.
Yeah, analog's the way to
Nobody's got
go.
cooking.
And for me, tell Joe he missed his chance. So.
Oh, there you go.
Cheers,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.